and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
You really want to know who's on the radio? Come on. Let's talk about it.
Jeffrey. Let's talk about it live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Call or text in live 478-569-6474. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffrey. Check us out on www.instinctradio.net or download the Instinct Radio app in your Apple or your Google Play Store.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It's almost showtime, people. Let's tune in to see what Jeffrey has in store for us tonight. And here's your host, Jeffrey L. Miller.
What is going on Facebook? What is going on Instinct Radio? What is going on everybody out there in radio land? Listen, I'm a really blessed guy today. I'm just incredibly blessed. I have three incredibly talented, amazing women with me today, and we're going to talk about a little bit of everything on this show. Before we get started, I got one tradition. I always start like this, and I want you to do me a favor. I need you ladies. I need you to close your mouth and listen. We're going to discuss some reasons why some men and some women might be single. You ask me some questions from a man's point of view, and I'm going to give it to you. Now, ladies, I want y'all to understand that I'm a fan. I love you. I love all you women. But sometimes, ladies, you single because you have a moving goalpost. You got a moving goalpost. Now, here's what I mean. Okay. You want a guy that's tall. You meet a guy that's tall. Then you need to be tall and built. Then you meet a guy who's tall and built. Then you need him to be tall, built, and light-skinned. Then you meet somebody who's tall, built, and light-skinned. Then he needs to be tall, built, light-skinned, and employed, got his own everything, which is reasonable. And then you meet that guy, and he works too much. You're asking for too much. You don't know what you want because you keep moving the goalposts. Every time you meet somebody who's qualified, you put another qualification out there. I think sometimes that's unfair to you because you never know what you're going to get with that guy who's bringing you 80 to 90%. You're still looking for that 100%, and it don't exist. That's why I believe some women, not all women now, that's why I believe some women are single. Lee, what do you feel about that?
Well, I do think you have a good point on what you're saying. But like you said, it's not all women who think that way and
Absolutely.
do things that way. I think men do the same exact thing that I think it depends on what a person's love language is, and if you don't pay attention to what their love language is, you're not going to be able to communicate well with that person on what you're trying to do or what you're trying to have in that relationship.
Okay.
So.
That's fair. Claudette, what do you think?
I think that's true in a certain aspect. I think that's true in a certain age bracket. I think once you mature, you kind of realize that that's kind of not going to happen like that, and I think you really, you start to look at different qualities, because a lot of things you just named was more physical characteristics, and I think you kind of grow out of that eventually.
Well said.
Well, not the job, though.
You got to have the job. Where's the bell? I need to ring the bell on that one.
Yes,
no problem with that one at all. No problem. Melody, what do you think?
Well, let me just say this. I'm single by choice. It's not because I cannot find anyone. It's because by choice. I desire because my career is really blooming right now. Now, the thing is with me is to find someone that can really support me in my career choice. And I do totally agree with the other young ladies. You have to know someone's love languages. There are 5, and you need to find the one or the 2 or all that fit you or fit them, and understand that and take heed to it.
I told y'all. It's going to be off the chain tonight. Oh, but I need to remind y'all now. We're not talking about the men. We're just talking about the women on that one. We're talking about the men now. Here we go. Fellas, listen. I just got to keep it real. A lot of us are single because we're selfish, bottom line. I mean, when I say we're selfish, we're not ready to be held accountable for anything. When I say we're selfish, we want to be able to do what we want to do, play how we want to play, run how we want to run, and not have to account to anybody. We're not ready to be responsible for a woman's emotions. So rather than stepping up, we'll play games. We'll start off and say something like, hey, I ain't looking for nothing serious, and do all that boyfriend stuff. And the minute she develops feelings and expectations, you say, hey, I told you in the beginning. I wasn't looking for nothing serious. I think that's completely selfish. It's borderline asinine. And when you do things like that, fellas, it comes back to haunt you in relationship karma. So I believe as long as you're acting selfish and a bit immature, fellas, you're just going to be single. Melody, what do you think?
I totally agree. It comes back again to the age. You have some older men, well in their 60s, who are just as selfish at 60 than they were probably at maybe 18, 19, or 20 year college age. So, yes, I do believe that I can't say all of them are, all men are,
Yes.
but a lot of them are very selfish, and a lot of them are selfish in the way that they do not, again, want to support us in our endeavors, but want us to support them in their endeavors. And I think it needs to be a two-way street on that.
Fair enough. Claudette, what do you think?
I agree 100%. I think a lot of men are very selfish, and I think that's okay if you can handle it. And a lot of men can't handle a woman being that way with them at all.
Okay.
Then they start to cry and all those things.
Jack, I can't reach that bell. I need that bell over here. I need to get to that bell. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lee, what do you think? What do you think, Lee?
I think it's definitely a generational thing.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of the younger people kind of want to play that they're in a relationship or play that there's your girlfriend or boyfriend, or they want to pretend that there's their wife when you're not supposed to do those roles. I think there needs to be like a distinction between how you should treat somebody when you're just dating or when you're in a relationship or when you're married. And I think
agree.
there's no real balance with that with the generation right now.
Well said. Well said. Ladies, I'm not letting y'all off the hook. Y'all got one more reason why y'all might be single. Now, ladies, I need y'all to understand and feel me on this now. Ladies, you're a good woman. You are a good woman, but you're not a good catch. You're a good woman, but you're not a good catch. And here's what I mean by not being a good catch. Some women out there right now are so used to playing the victim. They're so used to complaining with their girlfriends about how there are no good men out there, how they can never find a good guy to do this, or the guy's on the down low, or this many women and that many men, and all this other stuff, that they buy into that so much that they become just a part of that culture, the negative culture. They're still a good person. They're still a good woman. They still take care of home, but no man really wants to inherit that type of negativity, because we can be negative by ourselves. Women are multipliers. So if you get with us and you're negative, you're going to multiply the negativity right there with this union. So you might be a good woman, but you might not be a good catch. Claudette, what do you think?
That's probably the case in some women. I don't know women like that, so I really can't speak on that. I really don't know women like that, but I see it. I see it, on the social media and all types of stuff. But
yes.
I personally don't know women like that.
Good deal. That's good. Don't get to know them. Melody, what do you think?
I can't speak on that. I can only speak on myself, that I know that I am a good catch.
Okay.
I have all the attributes that any man would desire and want in their life. Again, it's all because of me. However, some men cannot handle women of our caliber as the women that are sitting here to this day.
Okay.
So maybe we're not a good catch for them, and that's why we do need to be thrown back in the sea, and we'll keep swimming until someone else comes along and catch us, and they're the right catch.
Woo! Boy, they bringing the heat tonight. Don't think I ain't ready, though. Don't think I ain't ready. I know you wasn't about to ring the bell. Let me move this bell over here. Only I ring the bell. Only I ring the bell. Lee, what do you think?
I think a lot of people have a lot of baggage, and sorry to say, I know we're talking about women, but I think men are a really big factor in why that person may or may not be a catch anymore. I mean, it's kind of hard to make yourself go back and be somebody that you once were before when you've been damaged or when you've had like situations where you did give your heart.
Okay.
And men do that as well.
All right.
So maybe there's a lot of people who aren't catches out here, you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fellas, last one for you, and then we'll move forward. Now, fellas, I need you to understand something. We talked about you already being selfish. Let's talk about you being immature. You come to a grown woman with a PlayStation 3 type mentality. PlayStation 3 isn't even the most recent iteration of the game. And you're stepping to a grown woman with an immature mind frame. You got to understand that women are out here starting more businesses as a demographic than men are across all, demos. Also, women are some of the most educated women out there. Our women, period. You cannot step to a woman like that coming with a high school level mentality. I didn't say degree. I said mentality. So here's the thing, men. You're not coming with anything worth that woman's time. You can't expect a woman to slide down a scale for you. What you have to do is you have to come meet that woman where she is. What you will end up finding is the minute you approach that woman on that level, or the level beneath her, she might pat you on the head, or she might not pay you any attention. But I guarantee you, as long as you keep doing that, you increase your chances of being single. Melody, what do you think?
I totally agree. I think if you come to the woman, to the table with something other than just your PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo and all those games.
She said Nintendo.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, because they still playing those as well.
Woo.
So, and all the other games that they're bringing to the table.
Woo.
But I think it is not a matter of having the degrees, like you said. It's having the education. It's about having the knowledge, the ability to be able to do, the ability to be able to perform, and to treat a woman like a woman should be treated. So when you step to a woman with that, even though she have all these degrees in education and businesses, then like you said, it's all about having that woman being mature as well to support you and to push you in your endeavors, because men have goals and aspirations as well. And I think that women, as women, we should support them in that, but they have to meet us halfway.
I agree. Well said. Well, I told you that this was going to be a hot show. This was going to be an informative show. So I need you to dial in or text or call or join us on Facebook Live. The number is 478-569-6474. What we're going to do now is introduce our panel. I like to kind of shake them up first before I introduce them. But what we'll do is we'll start over here to my right. Facing the camera, we have Miss Melody Maddox. Melody.
My name is Melody Maddox. I guess you want my career choice. And
everything.
A little bit of everything on me.
Give it to me in 2 seconds.
Again, very 2 seconds. I'm the Chief of Police at Georgia Piedmont Technical College. My career stems back into 1988 with Atlanta Police Department, working for the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, as well as the DeKalb County Police Department. I'm now the owner of Woman-to-Woman Personal Awareness and Safety Training, where I teach women self-defense.
Now, let me tell y'all what I heard. I heard she got handcuffs. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Out of all that, that's what you heard. Yeah, me too.
Now, all seriousness now. We're going to get into a real serious topic, and I want you to meet these ladies because they're all educated. We're not even talking about appearance. We're talking about what they bring to the table as individuals, how powerful they are, how accomplished they are, how professional they are. To top it off, they're not bad to look at. Claudette.
Hi, I'm Claudette Ross. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing for a production company here in Atlanta, Georgia. Been a resident of Atlanta now for without dating myself, about 15-something years.
15-something, my goodness.
15-something, yeah.
Never would have guessed it.
California native, graduated in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Good deal.
Been all over the place a little bit.
Understood. Welcome, Melody. Welcome, Claudette. Lee, tell us about you, please.
I am Lee Forbes. I'm a model. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a business called Cutiful. It's an active wear line. I also do marketing consulting for other models and people who are trying to get into the whole social media way of life, which is everything right now.
Understood. Understood.
Just a little bit,
it's out there, though.
I was also in the Army for 6 years.
Okay.
I've moved around a lot of places, and I travel very often, and I enjoy to have my own business and do what I like to do.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, family, now we have 3 intelligent, strong-minded, strong-willed, entrepreneurial-spirited women. And what they all bring to the table is a wealth of knowledge and intelligence. So I'm going to ask them a few questions about the pressures of being attractive in the workplace. Now, we're going to talk to Chief Maddox because you're in a traditionally male role. Not that that matters, but we're going to talk to you about your experiences. I'd like to know, first of all, and really from the entire panel, tell me some of the experiences you've had not dealing with the men you work with, but having to deal with the women who also worked in the same field as you. I'd like to start with you, Chief.
You mean back then or now? Still that I'm dealing with
You choose. You choose.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that women tend to be intimidated. And again, I won't say all. I still have to say women of each other. And we are our worst critic. And I think what's happening is that instead of us acknowledging each one as beautiful women, we don't do that. We find fault. No matter how good a woman can look, we will look at that sister and say, she should have put on a better pair of earrings. She should have had on another necklace with that outfit. What I'm saying to say in my field is very damaging. It's very heartbreaking too, because of the simple fact that I am a sister in, and you said traditional, but it's really non-traditional because women we only out of 50 agencies in throughout the country, only 5 are held by women.
Oh, wow.
So you're talking different municipalities, only 5 hold those positions. So, and these are very powerful positions because you're talking women that walk around with sometimes 1 gun, 2 guns. It all depends on what's going on their waist. They get up every morning and put a gun on their waist and go out here and fight the wells of this world. So it is very challenging for me sometimes because they see me in uniform with the ball up, but then when they see me outside, they see me with my hair down, a little bit of makeup and some lashes, and then it's like, oh, who she thinks she is? Oh, who is she going to fight? And I'm kind of like, then I have to go back into my mode and like, oh, don't get it twisted, you know? So then you have to go to the sister girl role, and I don't like doing that because that's not my personality, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to bring that out.
Okay, understood. Clydette, give us your insights. Dealing with women now on the job.
Well, it's interesting that you would say that. So I just started a new role in my company, so I was moved to a new property, and I'm working with a lot of women now, and it's very new for me in all these years because I work in production, audiovisual production, and it's mostly men, and it's been that way for years. A lot of gay men, too, as a matter of fact, and that's always fun.
Always fun. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But now working in this particular property, some of my colleagues, a lot of my colleagues are women. And it's different. I've definitely had some experience. It's only been 2 months that I've been there, and it's definitely been some weird looks, I think, that I'm not used to, you know, and I'm like, you know, I thought we was all against Trump. I thought we was all supposed to be together right now. You know, so I didn't feel very welcomed when I first started there. I think they're starting to warm up to me now.
Okay.
I didn't feel very welcome. I will say that, well, since we are talking about beauty and all those things, a lot of the women are bigger. They're bigger chicks.
Okay.
You know, and I like to wear my nice suits, and I like to look cute, and I wear my heels.
Okay.
And sometimes that's not the case with the other ladies, and so I was getting a little side eye, you know, a little, you know, I don't want to go to lunch all the time. I don't want to eat all that damn time.
Okay.
So they were like, no, I feel like they were like really being mean to me initially. So, but I think they've warmed up some, but I wasn't used to that at first. I didn't really know how to handle that.
Okay.
In the beginning.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Lee. Now, Lee, you are in an industry that's very, very competitive, ultra competitive. Tell us about your experience in dealing with other women, trying to get the next contract, next photo shoot, whatever it is, get that exposure. Help us understand your insights.
Well, first I want to say it's always good to have healthy competition between women. I think black women need to kind of understand that a little better. Like, if we're all out here in the same industry, there's going to be competition, and there's a healthy way to go about it, and there's an unhealthy way to go about it.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people struggle with that, what I've seen. As far as the models that I've been working with, I think we do well. We're doing a little bit better than when I used to model. Like, I used to model back in 2006, 2007. There was not a lot of social media, so it had to do with a lot more interaction. And that's when it was a little bit worse because you feel like you can't be friends with people because that's like damaging to what you want to do. But now people have been working more together to kind of build off of each other. So it seems like we're kind of coming together with that.
Good.
The issue that I have outside of modeling is that when people meet me, they think that I'm rude. Like, people treat me really, really nasty. Like, you would be shocked how often people meet me for the first time and they don't like me, straight off the bat. But after we talk or anything, I'm not sure which one is worse, knowing that they don't like me or that they come back and tell me that
That
when
they
I met
didn't like
you,
you.
I didn't even like you.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's interesting.
Okay.
But as far as the whole modeling thing, it's fine. Other designers were fine because everybody kind of collectively works together to get the project done.
Well, good. Well, we need more of that. Obviously, if everybody works together, that just rises the level of everybody there.
Right.
Okay, so tell me this. Claudette, tell me this. Give me your worst experience dealing with a man on the job. Worst experience.
Ever in life?
I like that. Yes. No. With your current with your current position.
Worst.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Or one of your worst.
One of my worst. So, I don't know if I want to tell that story. Right.
Tell it. Just redact the names.
So a previous position I used to hold at a different company, there was a particular person who was, so I was director of sales and marketing there. He was like operations. He was best friends with the person who owned the company.
Okay.
He just had a thing with me. He just had this thing where he wanted to be my boss, but he wasn't, and he just kind of and I didn't treat him like my boss, and he hated that. And we constantly was back and forth because he didn't intimidate me, and he wanted to intimidate me, and he didn't, and that bothered him a lot. So we definitely had some words, and then I remember probably the worst time with him. I remember him being back in the warehouse and he was talking to some guys again. I'm the only female at this company at the time, literally the only female. He was talking to these guys, and he was a white guy, and I heard him say, the N-word. He was like, God, like the N-word.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? So I get up and I'm like, yo, that's not cool. Like, what's going on? That's not cool or whatever. And then he told me to go sit down and mind my business.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. He said to you after you approached him about him using the word or the derogatory term,
and he was
go sit down.
There was a black guy there that he was talking with.
And he said to you, go sit down and mind your business.
He did.
And he said the N-word in front of a black man.
Correct.
What happened next?
So
she had to clear her throat. All right.
Well, to make a long story short, I definitely got outside of my professional character. He never said anything else to me. The black dude that was there, to this day, when I see him at industry events, he can't even look me in the eye because I was just like, dude, really, dude, like, really? So, like I said, I don't really want to go into it, but yeah, I didn't have too many issues with him after that.
Okay, so basically that was the final straw, and then after that things kind of settled down a little bit, or settled into a working pattern. Is that fair?
Yes, we basically had, whatever we had to discuss regarding work, that's what it was, and it was nothing else after that. Like, it was no high bye. Even at the Christmas parties, it was almost like, he was completely invisible to me. He tried to make it up to me. I wasn't having it. I was just like, I'm done with you. That guy, I'm done with you.
Okay, I understood. Wow, that's tough.
And it was weird, like I said, because I was the only woman and the only black person of like management in that entire company. So I think that's where I learned though to get thick skin. I worked at that company for 7 years, and I was the only chick there with all white boys.
Wow. And you made it. You came through. All right, good deal. Lee, give me your worst experience. So one of your worst experiences in your industry. It could be in the Defense Department or it could be in modeling. Either one, you pick.
I would have to say, okay, I'm going to use when I was in the military.
Okay.
There was this particular person. He was my sergeant. He was over me. I was only a specialist at the time. And a funny thing, I'm not going to talk bad about the military, but I want to say a funny thing about the military is that you can be in a position that you're really not mentally, you're not really that educated to be in that position, but you still have to play that role.
Okay.
So I think he didn't like how smart I was, or like, he didn't like the way that I spoke.
Understood.
So if I said anything that was a big word to him, he would like blow up or like try to get me in trouble constantly, like all the time. I was always proofreading his counseling statements like, you may not want to send this to the first sergeant because this doesn't make any sense. So I think it was a back and forth bickering, but it started to get really hard on me. It took a toll on me, like, career-wise.
Understood.
So it was a lot.
Okay.
He didn't even speak English.
Wow.
That well. But he was in charge of the entire clinic that I worked in, which was a dental clinic. So that was hard for me to work underneath somebody who was just like, you're really not that intelligent. You just practiced and memorized everything you needed to know to be in the position you're in. So
wow. That's tough.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
Wow. Chief, in your industry.
Oh, wow. I've had several. I mean, it's like every day with me, so it's really nothing new, nothing that I can't handle, but I don't like to handle. But I would have to say my worst experience was when I ran for sheriff back in 2012. I ran
Which
for,
county?
I ran for DeKalb County Sheriff. I was the only female of 7 other candidates, so it was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was a woman bashing type of thing, because I have to say that they all respected me. However, when you go out as a candidate, you have to try to, get funds.
Right.
You have to raise money. I mean, that's what it's all about in politics. So with one particular guy that I went to meet with, I mean, it got to the point where, let me just say this, that my attorneys, I had 2 attorneys, which was totally against me meeting with anybody without having one of them with me. So one of the guys was, if I give you this $2,500 check, then what are you going to give me? And that was truly a slap in the face and an insult to me, and I just kind of turned the place out. But I had to regroup and gather myself, because when you're running for office like that, you never know who's watching you and who's taking pictures, who's recording you. So I had to regroup and kind of play it off. But needless to say, I have not heard from that guy since then. But that's something that I deal with on a daily basis, having to defend myself from attacks like that.
I can tell you guys who are watching, when she said she had to turn the place out, you could kind of feel the intensity off her kind of pick up a notch. That was something to experience. I'll ring the bell to that one. Okay. All right. So ladies, tell me this now. Now, obviously, each one of you are very attractive women. Have you ever used your looks to get, a little extra help or kind of move?
Absolutely.
You absolutely. Absolutely. I thought we were already nuts if we didn't do that. I mean, we have to use things to our advantage here. And I mean, if the looks is get it, it is what it is.
I just knew they was gonna lie.
I thought so too.
They was gonna lie. I was gonna get it. Well, I was gonna come in on that.
I
thought that was my gotcha question. But
who wouldn't though? I mean,
okay.
A woman is supposed to tap into their power, and our beauty.
Come close to the mic for me.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
A lady's beauty is part of their power, so why wouldn't you tap into that?
Well said. Well said. Lee, what do you think?
I think that's interesting. I mean, there has been times, of course, I think even since I do model, that is using your beauty to your advantage. So I can't say that I'm not doing that, and I make a pretty good living off of that.
Okay.
But I think I have to pay a lot more attention to it and not make it turn it from beauty to a sexual advancement. Because that happens very often.
Okay.
Just because I portray myself a certain way does not mean you know who I am or how I truly am.
Right.
So you have to kind of make people understand that just because I'm modeling, just because I might have different types of images that you feel are provocative or whatever you may think of the pictures, doesn't mean that I'm going to have sex with you or have any type of sexual, like, interaction with a person.
Okay.
And that happens a lot, not just with, like, photographers, but just, like, anybody. Which is really interesting.
Okay. What makes it so interesting?
Because a lot of women do it. So they think that you're going to do it too. So it's actually harder to stay in a professional realm and get respect and not use your beauty in a way. Use your brains and also use your real resources. And sometimes I do have to bring a lot more men in to close things for me. Because a deal might be closed because they think they're going to talk to me after that. And I don't want that to be the case.
Understood. All right, everybody. 478-569-6474. 478-569-6474. We're going to turn it up a notch right now. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay, so has it ever gotten so bad that you actually had to report someone to HR for harassment?
No.
Never?
For me, no.
Okay.
For me, no.
I'm interested. Why not?
No, because I can handle mine. and I'm going to handle mine and handle it right and right then and there. And I think that's what women need to start doing, be strong about it in any situation of that, to handle it right then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes, yes, you do have to go and report it, depending on how advanced it is.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, no, I've never had to report anything. I check it.
Claudette?
I agree 100%. I've never had to report it. I've never thought to report it. If there was an issue that I was uncomfortable with, I handled it. If it was an issue that I could use, I used it.
I told y'all. These women are beautiful and about business. Lee, what do you think? Anytime you had to go to someone's superior officer or anything like that, or you handled it?
Not with a male, but definitely with a female.
Oh, good segue. Love it. Tell us about it. When you've had women come at you in a way.
So there was a person who was initially my friend. We were like associates at first. We became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking to someone that we worked with that I guess she wasn't really supposed to talk to, because it was like their ranks were different. And when you're lower ranking, sometimes you can't talk to higher ranking officials. And so I had no idea. I was actually talking to the guy as well. But she was in charge of me. She was my first line.
Okay.
So when she found out, she just... Women have a lot of emotions, right? So her emotion was to make my life a living hell.
Wow.
You know? So after, I kept trying to deal with it and just like, I know who I am. I'm not going to get in trouble, But after a while, it was just like, no, I'm tired of this. Like, you're not going to do this anymore. So I definitely had to report her anonymously.
Okay.
And also got her moved from my clinic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and then I started advancing from there because she was holding me back from a lot of things. No TDY, no travel, no schooling, no anything. If I had to give her any paperwork to sign, it was denied.
Wow. So I just want to get a better understanding. Why do you believe women fight so hard in some instances against other women? It's like, okay, if it's a guy, it's no problem. The guy's okay. But if it's another woman, it seems sometimes women hold each other back. Why do you think that is? Claudette, why do you think that is?
I really don't know. I will tell you, I'm the first person to say that I was the chick, like growing up, I was the chick that was always with the dudes. Like, I was like the home girl. I grew up with brothers. I'm super tight with my dad. I'm like a pretty dude almost, kind of.
Lord, I hope not. I hope not.
So I know in those instances, a lot of times, like, the girlfriends hated me because I was friends with their boyfriends. Like, but I was like always like the home girl. Like, in college, like, my homeboys used to call me footstool because they were like, you a piece of furniture. You just always here, Claudette. Like, because I was just there.
All right.
I was just the homie. But my female friend, like, with females, like, I have the same friends literally for 20 plus years. Like, and so I've never really been good at making new friends, and I don't know why that is. I still don't know really why that is. I don't not like females or anything, but sometimes just making friends with new females is just never kind of really happened. I've always kept literally the same friends for 20 plus years. It's my girls are my girls are my girls, and no new friends.
No new friends.
Straight's fault. I was just, she said no new friends. I was waiting for you to finish before I said it's Straight's
no new
fault.
friends.
I don't
Okay.
know why that is, but
No new friends. All right.
I think they're intimidated. I think a lot of women are intimidated of other women too, basically because of the outer beauty. But what they fail to realize, the inner beauty that person may have, but you will never know because you never approach them. And then, unfortunately, you can have attractive women that even men won't even approach because they're intimidated by their look, and they'll say, I wasn't going to say anything. And I've had, and not to toot my own horn, but I've had men to say, I wasn't going to say anything to you. And I'm like, why? And they say, like, the way you were sitting there looking. And I'm like, but why? You would never know if I'm your mate or not if you don't approach me. So then in that instance, we have to turn as women to be the aggressive one to approach the male. So I think a lot of women, we don't, again, it goes back to we don't support each other. And my thing is when I walk around, even to this day, I mean, I sit here with two beautiful women and I look and I say, oh my gosh, gorgeous women, just one of many thousands of beautiful women right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I can speak for Atlanta because this is where I'm originally from.
Right.
So I just think we need to support one another on that regardless and look at the inner beauty of that person and not just the outer beauty with the fashion fair and the Mary Kay and the Clinique and all that stuff that's on.
Okay.
You know, outside of that, we're still beautiful women inside and out.
Agreed. I want to touch on something that Melody brought up as we transition to another topic here with these ladies. The strong, single black woman. What are some tips that you can give to men when it comes to dating you? Now, I'm going to give you some things that the Huffington Post has quoted as to ways to date the strong, single black woman. Number one, never portray yourself larger than what you really are. Have you ever had someone that came to you and said, you know, I got this Bentley, I live in Buckhead in a 55,000 square foot mansion?
Every guy from New York. No, I'm just
Every
kidding.
guy
I'm
from New
just
York.
kidding.
Oh, I believe it. One love, son. One love,
I'm
son.
just kidding. I love my New Yorkers. I'm so kidding.
They got Timbs and not polo boots. They got Timbs on, not polo boots.
Just kidding. I love New Yorkers. Just
All right.
kidding.
Okay. Anyone of you had that experience where the guy pretended to be more than he was?
I've had it several times, and I think that's, again, they look at the physical part of it and think that they have to step to us as such to be able to say, I drive this and I drive that, and then you have to check them and say, okay, so do I. I have this. Okay, I own mine. Well, I do this. Okay, and you're saying that to say what? So it's kind of like you have to go, don't come to us with that.
Okay.
Come to us being real. Be a realist. Let us know what you have, and we can work with you better than you pretending to have what you don't have.
Fair enough. Lee?
I agree with what you're saying because I tell people this all the time. If you just come and say what the truth is from the beginning and you give a person an option to decide if they want to talk to you or not, can go a long way than you trying to portray yourself to be one way and then the person doesn't want to talk to you at all, you know? So, but a lot of guys in Atlanta particularly, since that's where we are, and since it's the industry that I'm in, everybody wants to flex like they have a nice car and all this, but they're taking showers at the gym and you're living out of that car. So people are living beyond their means to really make it seem like, I'm serious. They look real good too. Dress nice, even smell good. You know,
And your address
but
is
you
LA
really
Fitness.
LA Fitness is your
Exactly.
address. Wow.
But they will keep up that whole persona just to talk to you.
Faking it till they make it.
Yeah, because they want to fake it into your house where you're making it. Right. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then they'll have somewhere to live because they look good and they smell good.
Okay.
They might treat your body a little right too. You know?
Oh my
That's
goodness.
usually what gets them in. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie.
Okay. All right. Fair
But they're
enough.
really not doing
I
anything.
dated a guy that to this day I'm not sure because I stopped dating him because I think he was like a con man though. I went out on like 4 dates with this dude and I think he was walking out on the check. Like I swear to God, I think he was not paying.
Wait a minute. Okay. You were on a date with this guy. Was this the third or fourth date or first?
When I noticed,
Yes.
so I thought probably the third date when I was wondering like, did he not pay for that? And then it made me just think of the other dates and kind of the pattern that he was doing. Like, and he was a larger than life guy. We had a ball everywhere we go. Everyone knew him and everything. But I just remember one time distinctly, we were at Cat's Cafe.
Okay.
And he did like this little performance there. I mean, he's fun. He was a beautiful man. He did this whole little performance thing. We were drinking, you know, having a good old time. And I just remember, the lady bringing the check, you know, and he was dapping up everybody and speaking to everybody. And then he's like, baby, ready to go? And I was just like, did he pay? And just grabbed my hand. We walked out. I was like, am I part of a crime?
Are the police going to swoop in and get you?
Right. And it just made me think of the other dates. And I'm like, has he been walking out with checks? And I just couldn't see him. I was like, I think this is a con man.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
I remember, but he was beautiful. I feel sorry for whoever probably falls in love. He's a great guy.
Except he don't pay.
Except that, yeah, he's
Yes.
kind of a thief.
All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you this one. It says, have vision. If you're going to date a strong, single, black woman, have vision. What do you think? Is that a good tip? Not a good tip.
Absolutely.
No brainer.
Nope, not to me. No.
Okay. Okay, y'all playing. Y'all front
I'm
now.
like, okay, I think you should have a vision, but it depends where you are in your life. If you have that, you want to be there with them on their journey to get towards, they're working out their vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I have time for that right now.
Okay, so
I want somebody who's like already stable.
let's take that vision. No worries, I understand. Let's take that vision. The vision is I want to go from my 6-figure job to having a food truck. That's what I want to do. Would you support that vision?
Depends on what kind of food truck.
Okay, let's just say it's a unique food truck. I want to say this is Jeffrey's Frijoles Negros. There we go. Jeffrey's Black Beans.
Black beans,
There we
okay.
go. That's Jeffrey's Black Beans food truck.
Well, yeah, if it's for you, Jeffrey, yeah.
I love it. Okay, so tell me, how would you support a man like that with that type of vision? How would you do it? Lee, let's start with you. How would you support that man?
I would definitely try to give him all the resources I have so he can make it happen. So
Okay.
then we can just make it happen. Let's just see if it works. And if it doesn't, then at least you went towards your vision. That's
Okay.
what I can do.
Fair enough. Claudette.
I'm going to support you in any way I can. I mean, I don't know anything about that business, but whatever I can do, if that's your dream, if that's your goal, I mean, I'm all for it. If that's going to make you happy, it's going to, give you some fulfillment, then I'm all for it, making my man, yeah, baby, do it. Do the damn thing. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melody.
I say if it's your vision, let's see about how can I make it my vision. Let's sit down and talk about it together. Let's look at the pros and cons of it. Let's look at the finances of it. Where's it going to put us? And, that goes back to when you start talking about finances. When you're in a relationship, how to live off of just one and bank the other, then you're able to do that in case it should not flourish. Then you're okay. But I think that's something that you need to just sit down and talk about. That's not something you just say, well, this is my vision, I'm going to do it. If we together, we're going to do it as one, especially if you're married.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, one of my favorite questions to ask. I love to ask this question. Claudette, how do you feel about submission to a man? You are successful, independent, you're working, you're making it happen. You've been doing it. You've been making it happen. How do you feel about submission to a man?
I totally want to submit to a man. I want you to be a man to be worth submitting to.
Fair. That's very
but
fair.
I absolutely want to submit. I feel I naturally would. I am, independent and successful and strong or whatever because I have to be. Me, I'm a traditionalist. I don't want to be. I want to pick out carpet patterns and wallpaper.
Okay. All right.
I want to be 100% a woman, and a feminine one. I'm a girly girl, but I have to do what I have to do because I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my mom, But I would love a man to lead me, but I need you to be a leader.
Fair enough. Lee, how do you feel about that?
I think that every woman deep down wants to be submissive if they could be, with someone that they're with. Look at me, I'm just like, just drawing the blank, just thinking about it. Like she just mentioned, it has to be the right person though, and it has to be somebody that you're willing to submit to. And I think, personally for myself, I don't know. I feel like it's like a 50-50 right now if I'm actually going to find somebody who is like that, because men are so emasculated now that they don't really act that way, and it's very, very real.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, I hope so.
We're going to come back to that. That's a great point. Melody, what do you think? Submission.
I totally agree. It's all biblical. My walk is very great in my faith, and I totally believe in that. Then for a woman to be submissive to her husband. If you notice, I said husband, not to her boyfriend, to her husband.
Okay.
There's a big difference there. And I'm like Claudette, I'm a girly girl. I believe in fixing your plate. I don't want my husband to have to fix his plate. That's what I'm supposed to do. But at the same time, make sure that I have gas in my car so when I get up in the morning that it's already on full and I can get up and go and I don't have to stop and worry about getting robbed at night trying to get gas in my car. And I don't want to have to walk in front or behind my husband. I want to be able to walk with him. I want us to walk side by side wherever we go. I want us to be able to walk together. So absolutely, I totally agree. And I think that that's what God has ordered our footsteps to be.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, you talked about the emasculated man. Okay. How is it now dating men that aren't as, I'll say from my generation, aren't as masculine? You know, I'm pushing 50 almost. Wow, I can't believe I said that. Yes. Pushing 50. but
you look great, Jeff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
But I think when you ain't right. I think now men are a little softer now. So how is it dating men who are just a little softer in their manhood? What do you think, Lee?
In our society, just like these women sitting next to me right now, we have to work a lot harder, and we're doing a lot of things that men used to do. You know, even though in our professions we get 70% less than what a male will get with the same degree and everything, which is crazy. But still, it's like you're going to expect to have a man that could be a man when you're, especially when you feel like you're stepping up to the plate and you're kind of playing the role of a man.
I understand.
You know what I mean? So I feel like men have a lot more emotions than some of the females that I'm associated with right now, which is very interesting.
Yeah. Claudette, what do you think?
I think it's very, very disheartening at times. Like I'm super close to my dad. I'm a daddy's girl, and not saying my dad is perfect. He is far from perfect, but there are some things that, you know, my dad does that I think that's just what a guy's supposed to do. Like, know how to fix something. Why don't you know how to fix anything? You know, just some basic stuff that a lot of these guys just literally don't know how to do, and it drives me crazy. It drives me insane. I just think, you know, because that's what a guy should do. I don't know if that's a sexist statement or whatever. Again, I'm a traditionalist, so I believe in certain roles. Guys should know how to fix some stuff, okay?
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Melody.
I just think they're like that too because it comes from parenting. You know, we have such mommy's boys now. And moms don't let their children do things that we did growing up. I know I did. You know, growing up, and my brothers did. They shoveled the snow. My brothers had to shovel snow in Michigan and, you know, cut grass and take out the trash. And I think what's happening now, women are taking on those roles, and we're like, don't do it. I have it. I can do it myself. Don't worry about it. You know, even for me, it's kind of hard. Like if I meet someone and he opens the door for, you know, it's like one of those things like, oh, will you hurry up? You know, I can't sit in this car this long. You know, so I think it comes back to parenting, but I also think it comes back to us as women that we don't allow men to be men anymore. We've taken over a lot of those roles. I mean, you got to think about it. We've taken over a lot of things. We're now taking over the pulpits, which is basically not really supposed to be according to biblical texts. But unfortunately, we are, because men are not taking the stance where they should be. And I think it comes back from the upbringing as well. So, yeah. I think we're going to have to, you know, groom our young boys to be young men as they grow up and start taking back on the task that they're supposed to, because I'm not supposed to be the one that changed the light bulb. I'm not supposed to be the one that look up under the sink and know how to put the duct tape on it to temporarily hold it in place. I'm not the one that's supposed to change the tire. Although I can. I'm not a damsel in distress, you know, but I can. But that's not what I think that we should do. Just like I don't think men should do certain things in the household. That's what we as women, you know, I think that we should do. Not saying that we have to do it, but that's what I think we should do.
Fair enough. Fair
I'm
enough.
Completely opposite. I'm going to sit in the car the whole time until you come open this door. I'm just like that.
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't take too long. It's like, hurry up.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So I want to switch gears a little bit. 478-569-6474. 478-569-6474. Lee, you made a point about the wage gap. According to, and this is from the Simple Truth, in 2030, the projected wage gap will still be 87%. So you will make 8.7 cents to every 10 cents a man makes. What do you think the problem is, or why do you think it is that women have consistently, since 1960, made far less than their male counterparts who are as equally qualified or less qualified than the women? Why do you think that is?
Laws. The laws still have not changed, and there's still a lot of laws that are on the book that prohibit us from getting that salary. Unfortunately, we still have to fight for it. I mean, I have to fight for it in my field. I do know that in my rank as a chief, there are other chiefs in other jurisdictions that are making more than I am. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that because I had the assistant chief title up under my name, but I didn't have the chief title, so I took it because I needed that title up under me to move me to my next level for my career. But I do know that, next year is going to be a little different. Well, no, this year, I'm sorry, it is 2017. This year will be a little different. But it is happening to this day. And definitely I can speak on it on my behalf that men do in law enforcement get paid way more than female do. And I think that we do a better job of law enforcement than men. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. And it has been proven that women make better law enforcement officers than men because we know how to talk to people. We're more compassionate. We're more understanding. We're more patient. We're very calm. So we know how to de-escalate a situation, whereas men come in with an ego on their chest with a badge and they escalate a situation.
Understood. Claudette, what do you think?
I mean, the country that it's still a good old boys club. It's still a good old boys club. It's still, usually at the top of the food chain, it's usually going to be a male, usually a Caucasian male. And they're still going to, pull the strings for their boys. As the situation I'm in right now, in my position, where my superior is supposed to be, managing me or whatever, and it's clear who's managing who. And, but it's a game of chess. So I play my role. I fall back, do my job, do it well. Everyone knows who's running it. And, I'm going to just let that build up. So when I come to the table with the papers, I'm going to need my paper, and that's what it's just going to be. So, sometimes you just have to play that game. Unfortunately, you have to kind of sit back sometimes. You can't just come in there and bulldoze and say this is what's going to happen because you just can't do it that way. Not yet.
Not yet.
We're just not there yet.
Okay. Good deal. Lee.
And that's what I was going to say. When she said we're not there yet,
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't even been that long since the Women's Suffrage Act has actually passed in itself. So nothing changes overnight, and it's going to take a while for people to catch up to where we are and get up to speed to where we are. And, it's been since the 70s, actually, that women were able to, they just changed that women could be on maternity leave. It's only been since the 70s. Like,
Yes.
if you got pregnant, you lost your job.
Wow, yes.
Period.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things that are gradually changing, but, like, it has not been that long since they've even said, okay, we're going to, like, be more lenient towards that. So I definitely think pay is going to be the last thing that's going to happen. This is going to be built up towards those things, but definitely the wage gap is probably going to be here for a while.
Understood. Okay. We'll close out with one last segment. This is email drama, inbox drama, whatever you want to call it. Now, I get inbox scenarios, and people ask me for some advice. So we're going to talk about one topic here. This is from a young lady who has been celibate for 2 years. She met a very nice man, and she wants to have sex with him. So here it is now. She wants a relationship with him as well, but she fears that if she actually has sex with him, he will leave her. They've dated for about 6 months, and it's been getting harder for her to resist him. Her question is, should she risk losing the relationship and have sex with him, or should she keep her celibacy a little longer and make him wait? Claudette, what do you think?
Is she in the relationship now with him?
They're in a relationship now.
And she,
Well, I'm sorry, no. They've been dating for 6 months. She wants to be in a relationship with him.
and she thinks that if she does have sex, then the relationship is completely off.
That he'll leave. He'll hit it and quit it.
Well, then why is she with a man that she thinks is like that anyway?
The relationship was never there from the beginning.
Right.
It's never going to be there regardless.
If you
Whether
think,
she's there
yeah,
for the
if you
chase.
think that about that
Men love
man,
the
why
chase.
are you with that man? If you think he's that kind of guy, why are you dating him?
Let me give you some insight, because I asked these questions so we can get well-rounded, well-informed answers. So here we go. I asked her if she told the man that she was celibate. She said, yes, I told him up front. I told him up front that we were celibate. I asked why she was celibate. She said she wanted her next sexual experience to have more meaning and to happen within a committed relationship. I asked, have you been sexual? And she said yes. They had their tops off, and he put his hand in between her legs, and he felt the kitty. This is what she said. And, yeah. So that's where they are right now. So how do you ladies feel about that?
A waste of time.
Now it's a waste of time, or that act?
It's just a waste of time. That, I mean, it sounds like to me like she's just playing. Like they both are playing in it. But I mean, how can she expect to get a relationship out of it? My thing is, if you give it up, you're not in a relationship now. If you get up, you're not gonna be in a relationship. So what difference does it make? So keep playing.
Keep playing how? Keep playing Monopoly, or
Keep playing the
playing the Humpty Dance? Playing Hump the Kitty. Is that what you said? Hump the Kitty? You're killing me. What do you think, Lee? What do you think?
I think with anybody you talk to, how you start is how you end it. And since she was already communicating in the beginning where she was at, what she stood, how she stood on the situation, then she should just communicate with him and just tell him, I want to be in a relationship right now because I want to have sex with you.
Okay. No.
Maybe she shouldn't say sex with you. Maybe she should just say, I'm ready to be in a relationship with you, because I don't want that to be a coerced answer from that person to say, oh, yeah, like, let's do this.
Let's go together for a week.
Right.
Go together for a week.
That's just it. Then he'll probably do it just because.
Right. So
And
she
then
should
still
just.
don't be in a relationship.
Right.
On Facebook, Dave Sincere, Brother Dave, what's going on? Dave said, holding out isn't going to keep a man. I agree. Holding out isn't going to keep a man. I think she made one critical mistake. The critical mistake she made was saying that she was celibate instead of showing him that she was celibate. Basically, if you are really celibate, you don't put yourself in positions where your top is off. If a man hadn't touched you in 2 years and he touches the kitty going to explode.
Or implode.
Or something. You know, the kitty is going to explode. I don't think that she's worried that, or she's afraid about what he's going to do. I think she's afraid about what she's going to do, because he knows what's getting ready to happen. He can sense that she's about ready to drop everything and let's go. I promise you. My advice to her is not to do it. I would really say, at this point, if you're serious about keeping your celibacy, don't do it.
So is she doing the whole celibacy for a personal reason, or just to get a man? Is it anything other than?
She said relationship. She wanted her next sexual experience to come from within a committed relationship.
Maybe she should find somebody who wants to do the same thing.
She has to have someone with the same mindset.
Yeah, so that they both can do it together.
Period. Point blank.
Agreed. Okay. Well said. We're going to take a break right here. First of all, I'd like to thank you three ladies for joining me. Now, of course, you're welcome to stay if you like. We're going to have another gentleman come on, or a good friend of mine is going to come on and talk to us about the Boss is Black. That's a new segment we have here on Let's Talk About It Live. The Boss is Black. We're going to talk about the black farmer. So you're welcome to stay if you have the opportunity to stay. We'll be back shortly after this little bitty break on Instinct Radio, 478-569-6474, 478-569-6474.
In the world, playing all of today's hits. We're listening to Instinct Radio.